Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. So now we're going to do lesson 26. What this is all about is going to be a way to check your major scales, and it's an activity where you play along those major scales with play-alongs that I've created, and there's going to be a few different ways that you can do it. Some of them are going to be a little easier, some are going to be a little bit more challenging, but this is kind of a method that I thought of that I thought might be fun to make it so that you're not just sitting there playing your scales by yourself, and have a method so that you can play along with a recording that I have available on my playlist of play-alongs. So as you can see, one of my playlists that I have for school is a bunch of play-along tracks that I've been recording over the last year and a half. And this is a great resource for you to use for this sort of stuff. There's a lot of different feels and styles, but today we're going to just focus on a couple different keys for now, just for clarification. Then you would just apply to every other key that you use it for. But we're only going to focus on major scales today. We will get into some more details about the other possible ways of doing this sort of stuff in a later video, but for now we're just going to focus on this at this point. All right, let's get started. So we're going to start with the G major scale. So let's just pretend that you're feeling pretty good about it and you have the G major scale together. You play it all the way up and all the way down. The next thing I would suggest is being able to play it all the way up and back down, and all the way down from the top and back up. Right? So in this way, that's all. That's it. I mean, that's a really good way just to test it. And so let's say G is the scale that you're working on today, and so we go through my playlist and pick the G blues and only play that G major scale over the G blues. So let's try it out. Now, all the way down. Now we're going to go from the bottom up and back down. We're going to go a little faster. Now from the top, down, and back up. Cool, so that's it. You got that together, let's say, and you're ready to go on that. Let's apply it to the bass. Let's see if it works out. And I would suggest definitely not only playing it in the same place, because there's so many possibilities of where the scale can be on a guitar. You want to practice in multiple places. All right, let's try it. Now down. Now from the top, down, and back up. Boom, there you go. So that's pretty straightforward, right? It might be a little challenging on the slightly harder scales, which is fine, but that's where you want to start, to be able to do that first. Now, when you're looking at the 12-bar blues, I hope you remember, I hope you recognize from the other times that I've talked about it, that for a 12-bar blues, there's 3 primary chords that are used in the key that you're in, 1, 4, and 5. So in G, it would be G, C, D. So another fun exercise that you can do that makes it a little bit more tricky is to focus on being able to do those 3 major scales over the play along. So as the chord is coming by, you play that specific scale that is the major scale of that chord. Now, you might notice that the notes don't necessarily fall into the key that we're in, but that's okay. This is just a method of practicing your major scales. We'll get to adapting that to the proper chord tones that are involved within that blues. That'll be a later video. For now, I just want to be able to do those 3 major scales within that context. Okay, so in the case of G major, you have to have those 3 major scales together: G, C, and D major. Right? And so be able to do those in context while the tune is going by on the playlist, and do it in the same way. Do all of them going up, then all of them going down, and then alternating between up and down and up. It's kind of hard to fit it all in when it's the same single scale by itself, so I'll demonstrate what I mean. Like, when we get to it, it'll be the G scale is first, so it goes up, and then the C scale is next, so then it goes down, and then the G scale is next, so it goes up, and vice versa. I'll give you an example right here. Here we go. Again, these are all up. This is the first one. Now G. Now all down. I'm just going to pause it right there. So now, again, I just want to reiterate what I'm going to do now, which is a bit more challenging. This is what you want to do when you start feeling more comfortable with your major scales and want to be able to move between them kind of quickly. First scale is G, so that one goes up. The second chord in the 12-bar blues is C, 4. You know, it's 4, C, so that one goes down. The next chord is G, so it goes up again. And then it keeps alternating in that way, and then when you go through the blues form again, you start from the top. Instead of starting with one that's going up, you start with one that's going down, and then you continue to alternate. So let's start from the beginning and try it. C. Now D down. Now first chord down. There you go. I mean, that alone to work on that and be able to do that through all of my play-alongs is already going to be a challenge, quite a challenge. And this is a slower tempo play-along that I have, so it makes it a little easier. There's other ones that are going to be faster, so you're going to have to be comfortable enough to actually play the scale a little faster. You can cut the tempo down if you need to, but I'll help you as we need to once we approach those. Let's try another example with F. So as you can see, I showed you how to do all of them up, all of them down. I think I did that. And then the alternating. Now, if we're looking at it from the context of within the chords, the three main chords, the 1, 4, and 5, let's do it that way. F, B flat, and C. Here we go. 2. C. All down. All down. Alternating up and down. Try it again. All right, you get the idea. So that's a really great way to just get started on that. There's going to be so much more for you to be able to do later on. There's going to be a lot more to experiment with later. And so I just want to encourage you and welcome you to try it out and see what you can come up with. All right, thanks so much for joining me. Have a good time. Peace. Can't wait to see those videos of you working on your major scales in this way. Thanks a lot. See you soon. Peace.